My name is Pasamba Jau Coach, and I'm recording this audio in response to a statement that was made by President Adama Barrow in Wuli against the person of Honorable Sidia Sanajata, in which he suggested, that is the president, that Mr. Sidia Jata should retire from politics and give chance to the young ones. This does not come to me as a surprise because if you have followed President Adama Barrow's political career since he became an accidental president, he has done nothing but to disrespect people on whose backs he climbed on to become the president of the Republic of the Gambia. Now, it is really interesting that Adama Barrow, a man who was elected on a promise that he made to his peers to serve as an interim president, to serve only 3 years, but ended up reneging on that promise, will turn around and tell somebody else that they should give chance to others. Because if Adama Barrow was honest and true to himself and true to the Gambian people, by now Gambia would have had a fourth president. But even when Adama reneged on his promise of staying for only 3 years, claiming that constitutionally he can serve 5 years, and the agreement was so that we will give the country a chance, we will end self-perpetuating rule. But true to form, Adama Barrow not only refused to only stay for 3 years, he stayed for 5 years, went on to seek another term. And in his selfish ways, decided to undermine the aspirations of over 2.5 million Gambians when he orchestrated the rejection of a draft constitution that would have given the Gambia a chance, a leadership, a constitution that would have barred any leader to have stayed in power for more than 10 years. But Adama wanted more than that. So Adama was not only satisfied with being in power for 5 years, he wanted more. 10 years, we said, okay, we'll give you a chance. Go for one more. But that's where it ends. He said, no, I need more than that. You see, Gambians must be very careful. We have seen Adama Barrow play this politics during the National Assembly, during the presidential elections, where he used age and tribalism to instill fear in the Gambian people, just so that he would be elected into office. But Adama would stop at nothing when it comes to serving his political interest. Because he is the same Adama Barrow who had no problem of ridiculing victims whose victimhood gave life to his presidency. This is a guy who would disrespect Gambian victims under Jammeh by trying to play politics with Yahya Jammeh until that guy rejected him. This is the guy who had reneged on every promise that he had made to the Gambian people. There is a difference between Adama Barrow and Sidia Jata. Sidia Sanajata got into politics for the people. Adama Barrow got into it for Adama Barrow. Because when Sidia got into politics, Sidia had all opportunities to have earned resources beyond imagination anywhere in the world as one of the most qualified linguists in Africa. But he chose nation over self. And when we got into politics, he shone wealth, personal wealth, for the total liberation of our people. He shone personal wealth for the uplifting of the Gambian people. This is a man who, when elected into the National Assembly, did something that no politician had ever done in the history of the nation, by taking his salary and establishing a fund, a Wuli fund, a fund that benefited the people of Wuli. What has Adama Barrow ever done personally to benefit the Gambian people? Everything that Adama Barrow has ever done is for Adama Barrow. This is why he had no problem undermining a draft constitution that would have given the Gambian people a new chance, a new beginning, a beginning where we would have term limits, among other things. Because to Adama Barrow, that did not satisfy Adama Barrow's needs and aspirations. Rather, it undermined it. Because to Adama Barrow, all Adama Barrow sees is Adama Barrow. Whereas CDA Jatta, all CDA has seen since his days as a student has been the liberation of the Gambian people, the liberation of the African people, the uplifting of the African people, the uplifting of the Gambian people. I can tell you, Gambians, without fear of any exaggeration, that CDA Jatta at 1,000 years will be more useful and beneficial to the Gambian people than Adama Barrow at 10 years or 50 years or whatever age you might want to give him. And the reason for that is, you know what? One has unfettered, unquestionable love for country. And one is driven by nothing but self-interest. And if we make the mistake of listening to this empty rhetoric by Adama Barrow, where he attacks people based on age, attack people based on religion or tribe, where he tries to draw a wedge between the people for his political interest, we'll be making a colossal mistake. There is no doubt that there is a bias remorse already in the Gambia. People are still disillusioned by the wretchedness, the continued wretchedness of our people under this leadership, under the leadership of Adama Barrow. I can guarantee one thing. CDA Jatta will never be at the helm while our people continue to wallow in abject poverty and wretchedness. Everything that CDA had ever done has been to uplift the Gambian people. So, Adama Barrow, CDA is not your competition. Actually, if you were honest, you would be grateful to have people like CDA Jatta in the National Assembly so that they can guide a nation. CDA in the National Assembly is one of the most non-partisan members of the National Assembly, because whatever CDA sees is what is moving the Gambia, not whether you are a UDP or a NDAM or a DOI or a NPP or any of these parties. No, that has never driven CDA. This is why he is one of the most unifying forces in the National Assembly. But what you want, Adama Barrow, is a rubber-stamp parliament. And you know that people of integrity, people of dignity, people who love the country, like CDA Jatta, will never succumb to such. So this is why, if you have it your way, you would have a National Assembly devoid of those people, because you would want people who are sycophants, people you can give brown envelopes to, people who will clap for you, people who will do your bidding, and you know very well that CDA will never do such a thing. To most Gambians, they are surprised. I am not. Because I've seen this. This is why I've responded to such comments from you for a very long time. Because if there is one thing that is very evident, is that Adama Barrow does not care about anything but Adama Barrow. CDA Jatta is one of the most respected politicians in Africa. Not because of wealth or anything, but because of his integrity, because of his patriotism, because of his honesty, and because of his love for his people and his country and continent. You will never, Adama Barrow, never amount to what CDA Jatta has been. Despite the fact that you wrote on his struggles together with his colleagues, most of whom today you are making fun of. the people that you're making fun of, the people who have the scars of the struggle, people who gave up almost all their lives for the Gambian people. You make fun of them, but you will never amount to them. So to the people of Wuli, do not listen to Adama Barrow and his politics, because Adama Barrow does not care about what would uplift the average Wuli people. Of course, he would bring a brick there through loans and grants. Yes, this is what angered you, but that's the truth. But Syria, Jaka, you would never find a politician in Wuli or Undi Gambia whose integrity would match that of Syria and some of his colleagues. These are people who've put nation before self. So President Barrow, I know you are engaged in what the former president of the United States, Barack Obama, would call the silly season of politics. But every distortion would be swiftly responded to. With that, to the people of the Gambia, please vote for the best possible candidates in the National Assembly, people who will be guided by what is said in our Constitution, by their consent and what is in the interest of the nation, and not those who will be guided by what is in the interest of an individual. Adama Barrow. With that, I thank you guys so very much.